Okay, very good. So let's jump on. So what did we discuss in our last class? Snapshots and images. Ready for the shootout round? Okay. So what is a snapshot? Backup of the volume or point in time copy of the volume is called the snapshot. From snapshot, what do you create? Volumes. From volumes, what do you create? Snapshots. Can you use the snapshots directly? Can you attach the snapshot to the EC2 instance? No. And if you want to make use of snapshot, what you should do? You need to create a volume and attach it. And to create a volume and attach it. Okay. Snapshot is a full backup or incremental backup? Incremental backup. Snapshots are stored in S3. Yes. And does the snapshot has any availability zones? No. The snapshots can be copied from one region to other region in the same account. Can you share the snapshot from one account to another account? Yes, using account ID. By default, the snapshots are public or private? Private. If possible, can we make it as public? Yes. If you want to take the snapshots automatically, what is that? How do you take it? Using Data Lifecycle Manager. Very good. So how do you identify so many volumes? By using tags. Super. And we have two tiers for the snapshot. What are those? Standard and archive. Very good. So if you are not using the snapshot for a longer period of time, so can you move it to archive? So by moving to archive, can you reduce your cost up to 75%? And then anytime can you restore it? Yes. But how much time will it take? 24 hours to 72 hours it will take. And if you accidentally delete any snapshot, where does it go and sit? In recycle bin. Can you recover from there? Can you set up a retention period also in recycle bin? Yes. And if you are creating a volume from the snapshot, let's say if a snapshot is 100 GB and you create a volume out of it. If you want to utilize that volume immediately with a good latency, how do you do that? Using FSR, fast snapshot restore. By default, your snapshot, all these volumes are encrypted? No. So something is, let's say, not encrypted. If the source is not encrypted and you create something out of it, that is encrypted or not encrypted? Not encrypted. And the source is encrypted. And then it is encrypted. Very good. And something is not encrypted and you want to encrypt it. You can do it using copy option. Fantastic. And all the encryption keys are stored in, what is the full form of KMS? Key Management Service. So do we have a default keys? What is the default key for EBS volume? AWS/EBS. For S3, AWS/S3. For RDS, AWS/RDS. For EFS, AWS/EFS. That is the default case. This encryption keys, your access keys and secret keys, both are same? No. So access keys and secret keys are used to access the AWS console or AWS services. But these encryption keys are used for encryption purpose or security purpose. Excellent. And then we discussed about images. So what is images called in AWS? Image is a copy of operating system. What is that image called in AWS? AMI, Amazon Machine Image. Can we say the template of the operating system is AMI? Yes. AMI meaning if you want to take the whole EC2 backup, that means nothing but AMI only. So if you are taking the copy of the entire EC2 instance, so does the image also contains volumes inside it? Yes, image also contains volumes. Good. If you create an image by yourself, what is that image called? Custom AMI. Very good. Do you all agree that AWS are providing a predefined images? So they are providing either plain operating system or they are providing a operating system plus few applications inside it. Very good. If you want to automatically create the images, okay, what is that AMIs called? Golden AMIs. And how do you achieve golden AMIs using what feature? How do you achieve golden AMIs using what feature? Image builder. What is that? EC2 image builder. I told you to repeat 3 times. Again, you're forgetting. EC2 image builder. EC2 image builder is advanced topic. Okay, generally it's not required for us, but I'm just sharing those. EC2 image builder. So these AMIs by default are public or private? Private. So all your public images are stored in one place. Which place is that? All public images are located at which place? All public images are located at one place. Which place is that? Marketplace. What is that? Marketplace. AWS Marketplace. What is that? Very good. Images can be copied from one region to other region, one account to another account. So images are backed by EBS volumes. Images are also backed by instance store volumes. Which one would you use? EBS or instance store volume? EBS. Nice. Okay. That's it, no? Excellent. Super, guys. So is it injecting in your brains? Have you done any revision? Yes or no? Yes or no? No. Doesn't matter. If you do revision also, very good. No issues. But maximum it is going inside only, no? Okay. That's nice. Okay, so let's talk about, is that question for me? Akhil Naidu? Okay, sir. So Akhil is asking, provide example of tags, how we are giving in order to achieve automatic snapshots. Let's say you have 100 volumes. Out of that, 50 volumes you want to take the backup. For that 50 volumes, you need to provide the tags, no? What is a tag, first of all? What is Akhil? Akhil, what is a tag? That's a problem. He's saying tag meaning ARN. Wrong, no? So guys, let me ask others. What is a tag, Chitish? That is the purpose of the tag, to identify. What is it? Yes, exactly. Key value pair. Now, Akhil, you might have understood. So you got confused with ARN and tag. Both are different. So Tag meaning, so for this all 50 volumes, can I mention a tag is equal to backup is equal to S? Can I mention some tag? So can I write a policy now? Whichever the volume has a tag, backup is equal to S, take the snapshot. Right? You can label them, no? Let's say, for example, let me share my screen first. Guys, can you please confirm? Can you see my screen and can you hear me well? TTC, let's say these are all the volumes I have. Huh? These are all the volumes I have. For every volume, can I set a tag? Okay, let's say tag is equal to key value pair only, no? Can I give key as backup and value as yes? I can give any name. I can give any name. So can I have the same tag for all these people, all these volumes? So now I have like this 50 volumes out of 100. So can I write a data lifecycle policy saying that, hey, whichever has a tag called backup is equal as take the snapshots. So that meaning whichever the volumes, that meaning tags, you need to properly manage it, correct or not? If you properly manage the tags, then only these are all possible. But if you don't have tags, can you do all these things, automations? No. Now understood, everyone? Akhil? Okay, so let's talk about the today's topic, which is key pair. Or is that? Key pair. Remember, this is not key value pair. This is just key pair. Key pair is different and key value pair is different. Okay. Now, before I talk about this key pair, let me give an example, a real-time example. This is the EC2 instance. Okay. So in order to, let's say this is the EC2 instance. EC2 instance. This EC2 instance can be a Windows EC2 instance. It can be a Linux EC2 instance. Okay. Now tell me, in order to log into any instance or in order to log into any machine, what are the things that you need? What is the thing you need? Email ID. You have one server. If you want to log into the server, what are the things that you need? Okay. So you need to have credentials. So you should not say ID. What is ID? Dalisga. Right? You should not say ID. You should say username. What is that? Username. Username and password you need to have. You need to know IP address also. You need to know the instance IP address. You need to know instance username. You need to know instance password. Then only you will be able to log into the EC2 instance. Yes or no? Okay. So now you need to know the IP address. Chitty, this IP address will be provided by AWS. IP address will be provided by AWS. How, what are those different types? We'll talk later. But now you just assume IP address will be provided by AWS. And then we have instance username. You need to have username, no? Or I just say username. Huh? For Windows machine, the default username is, guys, for default username is administrator. What is that? Everyone, what is the default username for Windows machine? So if you launch any Windows EC2 instance, what is the default username? Administrator. And you need to have the password also, no, Chitty? You need to have password, which is very critical and very confidential. How do you get the password? Using key pair. Using key pair. So you will get it through key pair. How? We'll see. We'll see. Now you all understood? Now tell me, this is a certification question. What is the default Windows username? And also you need to know on the Linux also, correct? Let's see on the Linux. For Linux, the default username is EC2 minus user. What is that? Everyone say this. EC2 minus user. So whenever you launch one Linux EC2 instance, so the default username is EC2 minus user or EC2 dash user, whichever it is you call. Okay, ma? And password, how do you get it? Using key pair only. So now, now do you all agree that key pair is used to retrieve the password of the EC2 instance? Correct. That is a key pair. Key pair is used to retrieve the password of the EC2 instance. Hold on, let me talk about that a little bit. Do remember VPC? What is VPC? And also, do you remember we have a default VPC? Yes. So in AWS, there are few things that AWS will provide you default. AWS will provide default VPC. AWS will provide something default, everything. But do we have any default key pair? No. You don't have any default key pair. Who should create? We should go and create the key pair. Who should go and create the key pair? We should go and create the key pair. Do we have any key pair with us? No. So we don't have any key pair by default. What we need to do? We have to create it. Okay. So if you go and create a key pair, we have to create a key pair. When you create a key pair, the extension of the key pair is .pem. What is that? Is that .pem? The extension of the key pair is .pem. Say that .pem. Write down, guys, everyone. What is that? .pem. Or we can also call it as PEM file. You can also call it as key pair, or you can call it also a PEM file. Okay. You create a key pair. Can you give the name of the key pair? Yes. Say, let's say, for example, 6 p.m. batch.pem. That is a key pair. Who should create that key pair? We should create the key pair. Does AWS will provide by default? No, we should go and create the key pair. If you go and create the key pair, what is the extension of the key pair that you get? That is a certification question. .pem is a extension. Okay. So I'll give a scenario here for you. Chitty, let's say concentrate, okay? So we have assumed that we have 4 EC2 instances. How many EC2 instances? 4 are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 are there. And then first 2 are used by DevOps people. First 2 are used by DevOps people, and last 2 are used by developers. Is by developer and is by developer. City. So remember, for every EC2 instance, we must attach the key pair. Correct? For every EC2 instance, we should attach the key pair. So remember, how many steps are there to launch an EC2 instance? 7. So whenever you're launching the EC2 instance, at the last step or in the middle of the step, you will get one option. Babu, attach the key pair. But do we have a key pair by default? No. We need to create the key pair. So we create the key pair and we'll attach to the EC2 instance. So every EC2 instance should have the key pair. Yes. How many key pairs you can have? Only one. Chitty, you will have an option also. AWS will say, will you proceed without key pair to launch the EC2 instance? No. If you proceed to launch an EC2 instance without key pair, how do you retrieve the password? How do you retrieve the password? You cannot retrieve the password. No. For that reason, having a key pair attached to EC2 instance is mandatory. Agree? So every EC2 instance have one key pair should be attached. Okay, now I'm launching one more EC2 instance. Do I need to create another key pair? No need. For one key pair can be attached to multiple EC2 instances. You have a DevOps team. Okay, now tell me also, I have one key pair. I created one key pair. With one key pair, can I attach 100 EC2 instances? You can attach, but is it recommended? Pusuk, if you delete the key pair, if you lost the key pair, can you retrieve the password of this? That is a big problem. Remember this problem, I'll address this. So is it recommended to attach one key pair to multiple EC2 instances? I mean, many? No. But can you attach to multiple? Let's say I have a DevOps team. See here, I have created two EC2 instances for DevOps. Do I need to create two key pairs or one key pair for DevOps? One key pair is enough, no? So I call it as devops.pem file. For developers, dev.pem file. So one PEM file, one PEM file can be attached to two EC2 instance. Yes or no? Yes. This dev PEM file. There is a question. This key pair different from keys used to log into programming, right? We are talking about this key pair. Is it similar to access keys and secret keys? No, Babu. Remember in the starting days, you got confused. I told using with access keys and secret keys, can you log into the EC2 instance? No, you can access only. But if you want to log into the EC2 instance, what you need to have? You need to have username, password. What is the default username for Linux? EC2 minus user. Password, you will get it from the key pair. So for logging into the EC2 instance, you need to have a username and password. And these keys that I'm talking about is to retrieve the password of the EC2 instance. Is it anything related to your access keys and secret keys? No. Got it, ma? Super. Okay, so now I have devops.pem file attached to the EC2 instance, dev.pem file attached to the EC2 instance. Okay, now I went. Okay. If I want to retrieve the password, what should I do? Select the EC2 instance that you have launched. There is something called get password, Windows password. So it will ask, whenever you click on get password, it will ask, Babu, you have the PEM file with you? You have created the PEM file, no? It will be saved in your laptop only, no? We created the PEM file. It will be saved in our laptop only. So AWS will ask, give me that PEM file, which is attached to your EC2 instance. Okay, now I want to wait. Okay, PN Rao, just let me complete the subject, no? So once we complete the subject, then you will get most of the questions we'll answer. First, only if you're asking so many questions, we'll go slowly. Okay, now concentrate, guys. See here. Now we have DevOps.pem file is attached to the first EC2 instance. Now, if I want to retrieve the password of this first EC2 instance, there will be an option, get password. AWS will ask, Babu, give me the PEM file that you have attached to the EC2 instance. Which PEM file that you have attached? DevOps.pem file. That will be there in our laptop. Yes, open that and give it. And then AWS will take that PEM file and it will give the password back to you. It is like handshake. I'll tell. It is like handshake. Remember, the PEM file that you have created, that you have with you, is a private key. What is that called? AWS has what key? Public key. AWS has public key. We have private key. The combination of public and private keys is called key pair. Do we need to worry about the public key? What we need to worry about? Private key only. What is the private key? PEM file. Now you got it, PN Rao? So PEM stands for privacy encoded, something will be there, but we don't need to worry about the full form of PEM file. No need. Okay. Okay. So do you all agree? Whenever we launch the EC2 instance, we need to attach a key pair to the EC2 instance? Yes. Can you create multiple key pairs? Possible. Yes. And one key pair can be attached to multiple EC2 instances? Yes. One EC2 instance can have how many key pairs attached? One. Super. Ah. Now I have EC2 instance 1. This is 1. EC2 instance 1. I went and retrieved the password. You know the password, how does it look like? Looks like very nasty password. That yoga style password. That like this. Yoga style password. Something junk password, you get it. Okay. So now you retrieve the password of the first EC2 instance. Let's say you got ABC, for example. That is the password. We have second EC2 instance. EC2 instance number 2. For that EC2 instance, the password will be ABC also same? Different, no? Every EC2 instance will have same password or different password? Agree, everyone? Online chitties, okay? Every EC2 instance will have a different password. Agree, no? Everyone agree. Okay. What is the first EC2 instance password? ABC. ABC. Second time I went and retrieved the password of the same EC2 instance. What is the password you get? ABC only or different password? ABC only. Chitti, you have your laptop password, ma. Every time will change, Every time you log in, you will do the same password only, no? You have another laptop. That laptop will have same password or different password? Same. And how many times you are logging to the same laptop, you'll use the same password, no? Here also, why you're giving so different answers then? Right? So remember, let me ask you a question here now. Every EC2 instance will have the same password or different password? Different password. Every different EC2 instance will have different password. And I'm retrieving the password of one EC2 instance multiple times. I'll get the same password or different password? Same password. Understood now? Super. Now I went and gave this Chitti. I went and gave this dev.pem file to this EC2 instance. Will I retrieve the password? Answer is no. Because that is not the PEM file that you have attached to the EC2 instance. Whichever you have attached, you have to give that PEM file only. Agree? Is it clear till here, everyone? CC? So do you all agree that we need to keep the PEM file very safe? Pusuk, if you delete the PEM file, will you able to retrieve the password? That is very big problem. Okay. So keep the PEM files very, very safe and secure place. So should I write all those things now? Whatever we have learned, so that it will be easy for you. So whenever we launch EC2 instance, the console will ask you to create a key pair and attach to the EC2 instance. What is it, Ravichandra? Meer katti, Topu turum. So you can create multiple key pairs. You can create multiple. Can you create multiple key pairs? One key pair can be attached to multiple EC2 instance. Yes, I know. That's a problem. See, I know why he said Katti. Reason is he only told, explaining, writing notes for us. Do you see anywhere writing the notes like this? No, right? So by seeing this paint itself, everything will get recollected. I'm telling you, even your kids will understand. Keep this paints very safe. Your kids will also understand this AWS. Okay, one key pair can be attached to multiple EC2 instances at the same time. What you are discussing when to have kids, Okay. So one EC2 instance can have how many key pairs? EC2 instance can have only one key pair attached at any point. For every EC2 instance, password is same or different? For every different EC2 instance. For every different EC2 instance, password is unique. Okay? Or different. Guys, once the PEM file is attached and launch the EC2 instance, you cannot change it. Once the PEM file is attached, you cannot change it. So, same question. There is a question from Anvesh. How to attach key pair to multiple EC2 instances? How questions you need to park? How is related to hands-on? So when we go to hands-on, there I'll show how to do it. But to answer your questions now, key pair will be created. There will be one key pair. When you're launching the EC2 instance, whenever launching the EC2, there are 7 steps. For every EC2 instance you're launching, it will ask attach key pair. And then there will be a drop down. There will be already key pair created by you. Select that key pair. How many EC2 instances that you will launch? Those many times you select the key pairs. That's how you attach. But do you understood how to do this? No. But when we go to lab, there you understand how questions you need to park it. Once the PEM file is attached, so you cannot change the PEM file to the EC2 instance. So keep the PEM files in very safe place. Keep the PEM file in safe place and secure it. So every time you retrieve, every time you retrieve the password of the same EC2 instance, you will get the same password or different? Yes, you will get the same password. So can I say key pair is a common? So whenever someone asks you, or if I am asking you what is key pair, you can say it's a combination of, yes, public key plus private key. What is that private key here? Super. It is not me, Katti. You guys are Katti. Answering all the questions. This is PEM file. So do we need to worry about the public key? Who has the public key? AWS has public key and customer has private key. Which is the PEM file. Super. Okay. Is it clear till here, everyone? CC? Ma, non-IT. Okay, everyone clear? Okay. So now, for Windows EC2 instance, tell me what is the default username and how do you retrieve the PEM, how do you retrieve the password? Using PEM file. That is good. And what is the protocol? What is the protocol to use to log into Windows EC2 instance? Our first day basics. What is the what is the protocol is used to connect to the Windows machines? Windows machine. What is that? RDP. What is that? Remote desktop protocol. You forgot, huh? 3389 is the correct. Shravani, correct. Yes. So what is the protocol that you forgot? Please repeat it. What is the protocol is used to connect to the Windows machines? RDP. What is the port number? 3389. Similarly, for Linux machines, for Linux EC2 instance, what is the default username? EC2 minus user, and you will get it from PEMFile. And what is the protocol? Protocol we use is SSH. What is the port number? 22. What is that? 22. Today, for Windows machine, for Windows EC2 instances, how do you connect? Do you see? In every laptop has this remote desktop connection client. Do you see this client? So if you go and search, remote desktop, do you see? You got this. So you open this, from here we will be able to connect. This is remote desktop connection client. What is that client? A remote desktop connection client. So use this remote desktop connection client to log into the Windows EC2 instances. But how do you log into Linux EC2 instances? So we use a tool called Putty. What is that? Not Kuti. Putty. What is that? Putty. Putty nahi bhai. Putty bola. Kya bolte? Putty. Okay. So you can use put. There are so many, guys, there are so many third-party tools available. There are so many third-party tools available in the market. One is Putty. Someone says Mobile Extreme is there, and then your terminals are there. There are so many tools are available. But what is the tool that we will be using in our course? Putty. Putty is a normal general tool that everyone will use. So we'll go and use Putty. Chitty, but this how to connect to Windows instance using Linux machine, a Mac machine. Mac doesn't have remote desktop, Stalin. If you are using Mac, definitely there is a remote desktop client will be there. You should use. To connect to the Linux machine, you should use your terminal if you are using Mac. And by the way, that will be handled by AWS, Apurva. We don't have any control on deciding the password. AWS will take care of it. Guys, Putty doesn't support PEM file. What is that? Putty doesn't support PEM file. What does it support? It support PPK file. What is that? It support PPK file. Putty doesn't support PEM file. It support PPK file. So we need to have PPK file, no? We need to have PPK. So we use a small tool called Putty Gen. What is that tool we use? Putty generator. So Putty generator, we convert this. We will convert PEM to PPK. That we will see in the lab. But remember, Putty doesn't support PEM file. But to work with Putty, what you need to have? PPK you need to have. So what is the tool that you can convert the PEM to PPK? Putty Gen. Is it clear, everyone? So now should I tell you a little bit advanced topic? Advanced topic. So now, guys, first you need to understand the problem. First, you need to understand the problem. On top of it, I'll give the solution now. The problem here is, let's say you have 100 EC2 instances. So key pairs will be created by whom? Admins only, no? You only know. Engineers will be creating the. So what is the default username for Windows? Administrator. Administrator, and you will get the password. Password, how do you get? Using key pair. Administrator means it has full access on the EC2 instance. Now, users, employees want to log into the EC2 instance. The employees will have the PEM file with them. How do they know the password? They will ask you as an admin. Like this, there are so many employees. Every time they want to log into the EC2 instance, will they ask you for the password every time? Then one thing is either you need to give the PEM file to them and they will retrieve their own password, but they have full permissions. Other way is they need to ask the password to you if you are not sharing the PEM file. Both are difficult or easy. Then, and also if you Pusuk lost the PEM file, and just imagine you have 100 machines, you lost the PEM file, and all the employees started shouting on you, give me the password, give me the what, you don't have the PEM file, key is gone. Everyone got locked inside. You understand the problem? How do you address this issue? Do you understand the problem first? If you understand the problem, then solution you will understand. If you don't understand the problem itself, whatever I'm telling is garbage. But tell me frankly, did you all understood? Back PEM file, okay. They are saying that please, so back up the PEM file, they are saying. That's what I'm saying also. Keep the PEM file very safe and secure. You create copy of the PEM file multiple. If you have that, that is good. If you have the PEM file, that is good. But 100 people want to log into the EC2 instance. 100 people will start asking you for the password. Is that good? That is one problem. If you lost the PEM file also, that is also a problem. How to resolve this issue? So actually this topic is not required, but I'm just giving additional information. And also guys, I'm telling you one thing, please remember, I don't hide the topics. I don't hide the topics and I don't skip the topics. But you need to understand one thing. Whatever the topics that I'm telling that in real time, right, is not necessary that I should do each and every practical. Okay. So whatever the solution I'm telling about, we cannot do it. But I'll be sharing all those information also. Okay. So, but if you say that, no, sir, whatever you tell, we need practicals, then I should start skipping these advanced topics. Okay. So please understand whatever I'm saying, it is for your health purpose only. I mean, it's good for your knowledge. So keep it. Okay. Don't start struggling or shouting on me that sir didn't told that, this and all. Huh? Okay. Ravichandra, you are Katti man, seriously. Don't know. So it is better to give the PEM file only, Apurva is saying. If you are giving the PEM file to the users, they have full permissions, no? Apurva is saying, anyways, we are giving the administrator password. Give the PEM file only, no? Anyways, we are giving administrator only. But is it recommended to use administration also? To the EC2 instance, it has full permissions, no? Don't give it. Will you give master key to everyone? No. Okay, let's see how do we deal with this. Enough of dragging it. So just imagine you have so many EC2 instances, huh? The EC2 instance, which is related to DevOps. This EC2 instance is related to DevOps. One more is this EC2 instance is related to this EC2 is related to developers. And this EC2 instance is which is another team. Huh? Testers, huh? Okay. I put testers. So like this, we have so many. How many EC2 instances? There are so many EC2 instances are there. So similarly, like this, I have developers also. And also I have testers. Okay, like this we have so many. Okay, ma. Now based on this diagram, tell me how many keepers I need to create. How many? 3. So one is DevOps.pem file. See guys, you are becoming architects already. DevOps.pem file, and another one dev.pem file, and then tester.pem file. Now I'll ask you a question. Why 3? Can't you create only one key pair and give it for everyone? Possible, first of all, possible, but recommended. Why? Correct. No, you're able to understand. You're able to trigger your brain, right? So with one key pair, if I give same for, we have different teams. No, developer can go into tester can also go into DevOps people. It's not good. It's not secure. For that reason, we are giving separate key pairs. Now, do you all understood why you need to create multiple key pairs? Theme wise, can you create it? Create it. Requirement wise, you can create it. Okay. Now, this PEM file is attached. These PEM files are attached to this. This PEM file is attached to this. This dev, this attached to this. Testers are attached to this. Okay. So I have 50 DevOps people, right? And then 20 developers are there. And then I have 15 testers are there. Now tell me, Chitti, all these 50 people, they need to log into their DevOps machine. That meaning we need to give the password for them. 2 ways are there. Either you give the password as an admin for all these 50 people, or another way is you give the PEM file to them. But both are difficult to give because there are that is admin password. So instead of resolving this, okay, now do you all agree? Do you share the PEM file to them? Okay, don't share the PEM file to them. If you don't share the PEM file to them, they'll ask you for the password. You will get frustrated. How do you deal this? Guys, in this situation, we can implement one topic. We already discussed this. Do you remember Active Directory? Active Directory. So what is active? So active, this is Active Directory. So Active Directory meaning, can we create all the users in Active Directory? Yes, no? We can create all. So for Active Directory, we need to have a domain. Let's say I'm going and creating a boom.com. So this Active Directory is also called as domain controller. This also call it as domain controller. What is Active Directory called in our AWS? Directory services. What is that service called? Directory services. Directory services is nothing but Active Directory concept only in AWS. Okay, now, guys, when you are working inside the companies, when you're logging to your laptops or when you're logging to any desktops in your company, you will have username, password. In the bottom, you have domain. Those who are working, they will know. They'll have a domain. Your company, Infosys.com, TCS.com, or your client.com, something will be there. So that domain is nothing but that is attached to your Active Directory. Yes or no? That is why we call domain controller. So what I'll be doing is here, I'll be creating users here. That users, we call it as domain users. What is the users we call? Where do I create the users? Here in domain. Let's say, for example, DevOps, or let's say user1 @boom.com. Can I create like this? User2 @boom.com. User3 @boom.com. Can I create it like this? Can I create the users like this? all these guys, all these 50 DevOps people, 20 developers, 15 testers. Should I go and create all these users here? Yes, 50 DevOps users and 20 developers users and then 15 tester users. Can I create the users here in domain controller? Centralize. Can I create a centralized username and password there? Okay. Now, what I'll be doing is today, I'll be joining. Hey, important. See here. I'll be joining all these EC2 instances to this domain. What I'll be doing it? I'll be joining, guys. What I'll be doing it? Joining. So all these EC2 instances, what I do, I go and join to the directory. Join to the directory. So guys, now I join to the directory. See here, important, this point. I join to the directory. So now this DevOps users is nothing but user one only. Example. Okay, now user one has logged into this EC2 instance. Can he log into the EC2 instance with the user one at boom.com? Yes, because these machines are joined to this directory, no? So can he log in? This user one is created here. So that means, can he log in with the user one? User one at the boom.com? Yes or no? When he log into the EC2 instance with user one at the boom.com, in the backend, the request go to this directly and we'll check the username and password and reply back to this EC2 saying that username password is correct, login. So without admin password, without key pair, the user has logged into that machine now. Yes or no? Using the concept of Active Directory. Administrator and password, that is a local user. What is that? It's a local user. This one is a domain user. So please remember the difference between local user and domain user. Local user versus domain user. So which one in your real time in your company you should use? Domain user you should use. Correct? Now you understood how do you skip your key pairs? How do you skip giving the admin password to everyone? Using the concept of Active Directory. Yeah. No. Key pairs completely out. Key pairs will be only with you, with admins. You will have permission to log into the EC2 instance with administrator password. General users will have access? No. General users will be logging to the EC2 instance using their own username and password. Key pairs will be only with the admins. I'll write that here. Key pairs will be only with admins. Do you all understood? Okay, now to do this, for each user, can we set different password? Obviously, no. Every user will have their own password only. And that too only that user only know. Madhav. And also, guys, to set up this Active Directory, first of all, you need to purchase the domain. Purchasing the domain will take almost $12. Yes. Separate. Yes. Password of their own user, no? User one. Let it them use, no? But they're logging with their own password, not others' password. That's why, no, that is the reason why we have joined to this domain. So whenever, okay, now tell me one thing. Okay, so your question is, we have one EC2 instance here on top. Okay, na? Which EC2 instance is that? DevOps. Okay. Will you log in with administrator username and password to that EC2 instance? Will you give this administrator username and password to others? No, that is number one. Now, you are a DevOps guy. Okay, you are a DevOps guy. Do you have administrator password for it? You don't have. I am the admin. Who has the admin? Who has the key pair? I have the key pair. Riyaz sir has the key pair. Should I give the key pair to him, to you? No. But you need to log into the EC2 instance. Yes. So what is your name? Sai. So Sai, you have to log into that EC2 instance with your own credentials. Correct? How do that EC2 instance knows your credentials? Because I have created the credentials here in domain controller. And this EC2 instance is joined to this directory. That meaning whenever you're logging with sai@boom.com to this EC2 instance, that EC2 instance know your ID? Yes, because why? It is joined to this Active Directory. So you will be logging to this DevOps, that same machine with your own username and password. Now Seshi came. Seshi can also log into the EC2 instance with his own username and password. Yes, with the username password is created here in domain controller. Understood now? How easy to know he's belong to DevOps? Doesn't matter. Do the easy to you, Babu. You are all 150 people are there or 200 people are there. Do I need to know which team you are? No need, no. Right? So for server, you need to give the username and password to him. That can be a DevOps guy, that can be anyone. Okay, that can be anyone, you can log in with it. So the server doesn't know you are DevOps guy, tester guy, you know only. Okay, I have labeled you as a DevOps guy or tester. That's it. Only credentials matters. Is it clear, ma? This topic, which is advanced. I was saying this here, can tester log into DevOps instance? If you give permissions, he can log in. Otherwise, no. The DevOps guy logging can EC2 install tester. That's what. Yes. If you give the permissions, do we need to go deeper in Active Directory? That is Windows administrator's job. That is not our job, right? That is Windows administrator's job. Guys, Active Directory is a big ocean. There are separate people are there to work on Active Directory only. It is not our job to work on Active Directory. Okay, keep that in mind. And also to make this practicals, domain controller, you need to purchase it, and Active Directory, to set up Active Directory, it will take $350 per month. If you're okay, we'll do the practicals. I don't mind. But do you all understood the topic? Okay, super. Is it clear till here, everyone? So guys, I have a very small topic left now. Ma, is it clear? NCC, everyone, CC? Cluster networking instances. What is that? Cluster networking instances. Chitti, what is cluster generally? Cluster, generally, what is cluster? Can I say collection of servers? Collection of servers here? Yes. So, or can I say group of servers? Group of servers. So do we call servers here or EC2 instances? EC2 instances. So group of servers or group of EC2 instances. This group is called placement group. What group is that? Very important. What group is this? Placement group. This is called placement group. Now we'll talk about placement group. You got it? Getting it? Placement group. First of all, why we need group? Generally, group. Okay, now single person will give good performance or group will give good performance? In your childhood days or college days, huh? Will you go alone or will you go with group? Group, right? If someone tells something to your friend, let's go macha, huh? Will you go alone or group? Group only, no? Yeah. So if you go alone, the performance will be very low. Yes or no? If you go with the group, the performance will be higher. Yes or no? The same concept will apply here. That simam single ga vastadi, That is different. That will not work in practically. It will not work. Okay. 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 So now, if you take it in real time in our AWS, Chitty, tell me, as you know, little bit in the backend, when you launch a new EC2 instance, carefully listen this. When you launch one EC2 instance, when you are launching the multiple EC2 instances, in the backend, in the host machines, all your EC2 instances will sit in the same host machine or different host machines. If you are launching multiple EC2 instances, if you are using multiple EC2 instances, all the EC2 instances will sit in the same hardware or different hardware. Different hardware only, no? Amma Babu, if you are saying same, then which pricing model that you should use? You need to use dedicated host. You need to pay this much bill. But now when you launch an EC2 instance, all your EC2 instances are shared, or all the EC2 instances are spreaded across multiple different hardwares. Yes or no? Okay. Now you are launching few EC2 instances, let's say 5. You want to keep that 5 EC2 instances next to next in the same rack, in the same data center, in the same availability zone. And you want to keep the EC2 instances next to next. If your EC2 instances are next to next, the performance will be lower or higher? Obviously, no. Huh? But problem is you are sitting in the same rack. What happens if the rack goes down? All your machines will go down. Correct? Is it? Do you have any good high availability there? But AWS will. It is managed by AWS. That rack will go down anytime. It will not go down. But there is a chance. So if you need to have a super high performance among the EC2 instances, you can group it. That is called placement group. That is called placement group. There are 3 types of placement groups are there. How many? 3. So before I write that, first I'll write the problem here. The problem here is when you launch a new EC2 instance, the EC2 service will place the instance such a way that all your instances are spread out across different hardwares. Agree? This is the problem. So I want to keep it not in different hardwares. I want to keep it in the same rack, right? Same availability zone, same data center. Okay, now you have this EC2 instance, you have this EC2 instance, you have this EC2 instance, you have launching 4 EC2 instances. All these 4 EC2 instances are sitting in the same rack. EC2 instance, EC2, EC2, EC2. And all this EC2 instance, can I place it in same availability zone? I'm putting in the same availability zone, Chite. And that too, I'm grouping all these things in grouping. So now the speed between here to here, here to here, here to here, here to here, across this EC2 instances. What is the internet speed in your home? 50 Mbps. 100 Mbps. Okay. You know, the speed between this, the speed between these machines are 20 Gbps. How much? 20 Gbps. Not even 1000 Mbps is 1 Gbps. Correct? So here it is 20 Gbps. That meaning, just imagine the fast between these machines will be 20 Gbps. That meaning it has super fast. Now you have some application, you put it in first server. and you have a database, you put in a 7 server. Can you group it? Can you group it and you have super speed between them? Yes. So now, as I said, we have 3 types of placement groups. How many? 3 types. Number 1, we call it as cluster placement group. Certification question. And then we have a spread placement group. And we have partition placement group. What are those 3 things? Tell me. Cluster placement group, spread placement group, partition placement group. Guys, cluster placement group meaning you are grouping in the same availability zone, same rack. Grouping the instances in same rack, same availability zone. That is called cluster placement group. So if you do so, you will have a high performance. High performance. How about high availability? Low high availability, correct? Okay. And now, how about spread placement group? Spread meaning you are spreading the machines in different availability zones, right? So EC2 instances are spread across availability zones. Is it in single availability zone or across availability zones? Across availability zones. Okay, now you tell me, I have one critical application. I want to have good performance. And I don't want to have any downtime at any cost. If your application is very critical, will you go for cluster or spread? Spread. Because your application is critical, you don't take any chance of having low availability. If your application is very critical, go for spread. Now, your application is very critical and need to have super duper high performance. Doesn't matter of high availability. Then go for cluster. So based on this, you need to decide. And by the way, you don't need to do anything here. There is one click, create placement group. You want cluster, spread, partition, select cluster. That's it. When you're launching the EC2 instance, you will have, hey, Babu, you want to group this machine? Select cluster. Bus. And how many EC2 instances that you want to group? Group it. And you will have a good performance among them. So, and per one availability zone, how many EC2 instances you can launch? Only 7 EC2 instances. How many? Certification question. Anvesh, that's for you. Per one availability zone, how many EC2 instances you can launch? Only 7. So here you will have a IHA and any critical applications will go here. And now we have the partition placement group. See the partition placement group. Now in spread placement group, how many machines you can launch? Only 7. But here you can partition in different hardwares. Yes. So like this, you can create partitions. So like this, you can create partitions. How many partitions you can create here? 7 partitions. How many? 7 partitions. 3, 4. I no need to write, but like this. In each partition, can you launch multiple EC2 instances? Yes. Guys, and in this partition, you can launch multiple EC2 instances. How many? Hundreds of EC2 instances you can go and launch. You have this model also, this strategy also. But the problem here is, if one partition goes down, all this will go down. So you need to choose which model is the best for your application. Okay. So this is also across availability zone. And maximum, how many partitions you can create? On partitions, 7. In each partitions, how many you can have? Each partition has hundreds of EC2 instances. But be careful, based on your, everything is billable, nothing is free. Okay. So based on your strategy based on your requirement, based on the need. You need to select the which placement group that you need. Is it clear now? And now in placement group, can you tell me, is it recommended to have the same type of machines or different type of machines? Okay, you are saying different. Now I'll take the same example, your college days example. Your friend got some issue and you are going as a group. In that group, will you take one LKG guy, one 5th class guy, one 10th class guy, one big uncle? Will you go with different like this? Just now you told, na, different. If you want to have a good performance, you need to have real-time examples like this, huh? Then only you'll understand. Okay, so this placement group recommend to have same instance types or different? Placement group recommended to have same homogeneous instance type. Homogeneous meaning same instance type. So, so when you're launching the EC2 instance, you will have option to select it. When you are launching the EC2 instance, you can select which placement group you want to keep the instance. One? Same availability zone you can do. In cluster, how many EC2 we can launch? There is question. In cluster placement group, can you launch multiple EC2 instances? Yes, you can. In spread, how many? In partition, how many EC2 instances? Partitions you have 7, but EC2 instances, many. Super. Very good. Take the screenshots. Let's enough for today. Take the screenshot and let me know once done. I'll change the slide. Okay. Okay. So next one is this. And the last one. Super. Can you give the final CC for today? CC with smile.